It is unimaginable that the United States would ever consider sending money to a place where we know that will be used to help terrorists who are holding Americans hostages. But that is exactly what this bill does. You know what I don't understand is I've not seen one picture of Joe Biden in the White House Situation Room talking about what he's doing to bring home any American hostages. Not one. I think that first speech he gave when he talked about what happened on October 7th, he talked about hostages like 15 seconds. It's like he does not care. You know, you talk about the things you care about. He never talks about American hostages, ever. So how does it feel to be an American family with a family member that's held hostage in Gaza and knowing that your president doesn't care? And President, I want to make sure everyone understands exactly what I'm saying here, which is a fact. Every dollar that goes to Gaza directly benefits Hamas. How do they pay for all those tunnels? How do they pay for all those rockets? How do they pay for it? They take humanitarian aid and use it to do those things. You saw the attack in Israel. They had humanitarian aid, first aid kits that they took with them. Every day since October 7th, I've been telling the stories of those being held hostage in Gaza by Iran-backed Hamas terrorists. I think it's important that the world never forgets what happened on October 7th. I have a poster outside my office that features the faces of the hostages, and I will not take it down until they're all home. Unfortunately, President Joe Biden has not done the same. I don't understand why the President of the United States isn't speaking every single day. He should be speaking every single day about Americans being held hostage by Hamas terrorists and what he is doing to get them out. The IDF just rescued 2 American hostages in a mission that the Biden administration urged them not to do. Can you imagine? The IDF was urged not to do something by the Biden administration that rescued 2 American hostages. Who does this? What president would do this? What has Biden done to rescue American hostages? Many of my colleagues will recall the name of 9-year-old Emily Hand. Emily and her father, Thomas, lived in the small kibbutz of Be'eri, which was ruthlessly targeted and destroyed by Hamas during the attacks. Quite a few individuals I met with hostages, people that survived the attack, Be'eri, they just, by the grace of God, were they alive. And they have not been able to go home. In the days immediately following the attacks, Emily's dad was initially told that his daughter, who had spent the night at a friend's house just a few doors down, was killed. Madam President, I'm a father of 2 daughters and a grandfather of 7 grandchildren. Watching this father speak about the murder of his daughter is heart-wrenching. He said to CNN at the time, quote, "They just said we found Emily and she's dead." And what he say? Here's what he said, and I went, "Yes," and smiled because that is the best news of the possibilities that I knew. She was either dead or in Gaza. If you know anything about what they do to people in Gaza, that is worse than death. This is the statement of a father, of a daughter, that thought it would be better for her to be dead than to be a hostage in Gaza. Soon to his relief and horror, Thomas learned that Emily was in fact alive and being held hostage by Hamas. This beautiful, innocent little girl spent 50 days as a hostage in Gaza. If you go look at the poster outside my office, these are beautiful people, innocent individuals. Well, I'm sure that Thomas thanks God every day to have his little girl back in his arms again. He knows that the child he had on October 6th, that child's no longer alive. Emily will never be the same as she was before she was taken. It's been more than 120 days since the attack, and some parents are still waiting for their children to come home. Can you imagine Your child's been kidnapped, and you have no idea what's happening to him. All you can assume is the worst. Little baby, Gafer Bibas, first birthday was spent as a hostage in Gaza. His 4-year-old brother, Ariel, who is also still being held hostage. There's a group of individuals that put together milk cartons with the pictures of the hostages, like the kids that were on the missing list for Americans. They've done it and they've distributed these around the country. I've got one in my office with a picture of Ariel, a little 4-year-old boy. Gafer and Ariel's parents have been waiting for more than 4 months to hold their babies again. Now, unfortunately, we have heard horrible reports that these innocent children may no longer be alive. Why has Joe Biden given money to Gazans who are holding American hostages? What American president would do that? Why would we allow Biden to give more money to Gazans who are holding American hostages? You just can't believe this is happening. When will this stop? Why the heck are we allowing Biden to send more money into Gaza in this bill, when we know that every dollar that goes to Gaza funds the terrorism of Hamas? More tunnels, more weapons, more rockets, more destruction. Hamas is there to kill Jews and destroy Israel, our ally. What are we doing to get American hostages released? Do we have a daily report from Joe Biden of what he's doing? Do we have a report by General Austin what he's done? Do we have any idea what the Biden administration is doing to get American hostages home? I won't stop stating this fact. Every dollar that goes into Gaza directly benefits Hamas. So Hamas kills Israelis and Americans. They take them hostage, and Joe Biden gives Gazans money that goes to benefit Hamas. You can't make this stuff up. That is the undeniable truth. It's why I've been